A few months after the outbreak of World War II, the British, watching the special operations of the German paratroopers in the struggle for fortresses and other targets, couldn't help but feel a chill down their spine. The British were concerned about the German paratroopers launching special operations against British airfields. As a result, the Royal Air Force was eager to enhance the airfield's anti-paratrooper capabilities, which also led to the development of a series of unusual weapon systems. One of these was the Beaver armored car, which we recently introduced. Of course, the airfield garrison also had many more conventional armored vehicles, such as the widely produced Beaver armored car. The Beaver armored car was undoubtedly a temporary measure. When the Royal Air Force requested equipment, the Standard Motor Company's idle 504x2 car chassis came in handy. Designers used these chassis as a basis to create an armored car that looked somewhat uncoordinated. The Beaver armored car had multiple versions. The 1 Malawian Kwacha was the initial and most rudimentary version. During this period, Britain's resources were extremely tight, and the armored car was covered with boiler steel ranging from 8 to 9 millimeters. The front of the vehicle had a louvered intake structure, and to increase defense, 3-inch thick wooden boards were added inside the steel plates. The midsection of the vehicle was an open-top combat compartment, with the driver, observer, and gunner crowded into the same space. Members could observe the outside through small windows on the front and sides of the armor. A Bren light machine gun or a Boy's anti-tank rifle could be fired forward, and members could also engage in combat with light weapons. The modified Beaver 1 Malawian Kwacha armored car weighed approximately 2 tons, which was quite a burden for a chassis originally designed for a regular commercial vehicle. It was powered by a 48 horsepower engine and used rear-wheel drive. Although there were newspaper reports claiming a top speed of around 100 km per hour, possibly wartime morale boosting, the actual speed was much slower, and the chassis suffered significant wear and tear. The 2 Malawian Kwachas made appropriate modifications to the armor distribution, as well as details such as the engine air intake, and replaced the original boiler steel with proper armor. It retained the 3-inch thick oak board inside the armor, significantly increasing the bulletproof level of the armor. The 3 Malawian Kwachas underwent a major change, shortening the chassis length and increasing the width. The originally open-top compartment became sealed, and a rotating column turret was added on the left side of the top, which could be equipped with and other equipment. The significantly changed structure also added a lot of weight, increasing the total weight to approximately 2.6 tons, making the chassis even more difficult to handle. The 4 Malawian Kwachas was an upgraded version of the 3 Malawian Kwachas, with no major changes in basic design, but the armor was changed to 12 mm thick steel armor, and the crew's visibility was optimized. Regardless of the modifications, the Beaver armored car was undoubtedly a makeshift armored vehicle. During World War II, Britain built approximately 2,800 of them, and they never left the British Isles, all serving domestically. As a local defensive weapon, the Beaver armored car was effective, having captured 2 German fighter pilots. The Beaver armored car was used until the end of World War II. At this time, the Allies had a large amount of surplus supplies, and therefore did not value these mediocre Beaver armored cars, especially since their chassis could not handle heavy loads. After several years of use, most of them were heavily worn and could not find new buyers, so out of the nearly 3,000 Beaver armored cars, only a small number were preserved, and the majority were scrapped. The Beaver armored car 1 Malawian Kwacha weighed approximately 2 tons, with a length of 4.22 meters, a width of 1.6 meters, a height of 1.52 meters, and a crew of 3. Some estimates suggest a maximum speed of about 60 km per hour. The 3 Malawian Kwachas weighed approximately 2.6 tons, with a length of 3.1 meters, a width of 1.73 meters, a height of 2.16 meters, and a crew of 3, with a maximum speed of about 38 km per hour.